All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at your headlines for this hour. A meeting to try and bring an end to the nationwide bus strike is set to take place in Johannesburg today. The South African Road Passenger Bargaining Council says it has managed to bring the disputing parties back to the negotiation table with the assistance of the CCMA. Meanwhile, thousands of commuters are once again stranded this morning as the strike enters its second day. Affected commuters have been urged to make use of alternative transport. Worker unions led by SATAU they're demanding a 12%, while the management of various bus companies is offering between 6 and 7% salary increase built into a 3-year agreement. In a statement, Transport Minister Blade Nzimande has appealed to all parties to urgently find a negotiated settlement. All right, for more on the story, let us now cross live to Cape Town at Gugulethu Taxi rank, to be specific. That is where reporter Nomawethu Solwandle is standing by this morning for us. Nomawethu, a very, very good morning to you. How is the situation at the Gugulethu Taxi rank this morning? Is it anything close to what we saw at Mitchell's Plain yesterday?
Well, a very good morning to you, Balisa. Well, what we saw in Mitchell's Plain was really hectic compared to what we're seeing here in Gugulethu this morning. Yes, there are queues and they are quite long. People are waiting and they are frustrated. But, I mean, we see people getting into taxis quite peacefully compared to what we saw in Mitchell's Plain. You remember that people were jostling, they were running, they were pushing to ensure that they get to work early. I must say that we did go to Bellville interchange earlier on at around 6 o'clock this morning, and there it was also quite hectic, Balisa. I must say, you know, the queues were quite long, people were pushing, and we did speak to some of the commuters, and again the sentiment remains the same, Balisa, that the buses need to return, because like I said yesterday, what happens is when people use the buses or the trains to commute, they usually buy monthly or weekly tickets, and they've already bought those tickets. So now with the bus strike, this means that they're going to have to dig deeper into their pockets, because they'll have to use money that they would have otherwise used for something else to ensure that they get to work early. And I must say that Balisa, I spoke to one of the ladies that is a domestic worker a little bit earlier on in Bellville, and I think one of the interesting things that she said to me, Balisa, was that, you know, even our employers don't understand the situation. I've had to go to loan sharks to ensure that I have money in order for me to come and get a taxi and get to work and actually get to work on time. So, you know, it's one thing after the other. It's us getting to work and actually having the money to do that, and then having to convince our employers or tell them what is the situation with transportation. So that for me was actually quite interesting, Balisa. But things are really calm here in Gugulethu. I'm just going to move out of shot so that you can get a clearer picture of what's going on here. We see long queues. We've seen learners telling us, you know, they wouldn't come onto camera, Balisa, like you suggested, just to find out their views, but they are here as well, and they say that they've been running late for school since yesterday, but, you know, there's nothing that they can do. We are hoping to speak to the Department of Education a little bit later on, just to find out how schools have been affected in the situation. But for now, it's back to you in the studio, Balisa.
All right, thank you so much there to our reporter Nomawethu Solwandle, live from the Gugulethu Taxi rank in the Western Cape in Cape Town. We'll cross to other provinces to see how the situation is unfolding.